Hello folks. Right, well I might sound a little subdued during this one. I had a lot of dental work done this week and unfortunately got a secondary infection and it's really dragged me down. It's been very, very painful. But I went to the chemist today on Phyllis to get the antibiotics and whatever because they didn't have them the other day. I've not been sleeping, which is nice. And then I was going to go on the nibbler, but he had a low battery and wouldn't fire. Span over but wouldn't fire. So I put him on charge for an hour, went out on Phyllis, come back, started up nibbler, and I've just been on a 25-mile ride on little nibbler. Anyway, when I've felt like it this week, I've been doing a little bit on the Aprilia. I say a little bit. I've drained the oil out of the oil tank and the sump and what have you. I've yet to fill it, and I noticed there were no sealing washers on either of the sump plugs. That's the main one and the oil tank one. And I thought, how strange. So I've just investigated on the service data, and there should indeed be sealing washers, copper washers, crush washer. Makes sense, doesn't it? But sure enough, this morning, little puddle of oil, and I had a look, and it is the sump plug. So yes, so whoever's been looking at the bike, that's just something else they haven't effing done. Also what I've done, I stripped, cleaned and rebuilt the clocks basically. The trip meter wasn't working or wasn't resetting, so I've done that. I have oiled all the electrical connectors and put them where they basically should be. I've got to put a new end on either of the indicators. This is for an auxiliary light which is on that somebody put on the instrument surround, and I've not got no idea why. It doesn't serve any purpose. It's wired into the light circuit unless something like the side light bulb or something in the instrument cluster doesn't work. So yes, so I gave this little frame a little psst, but the main thing I've done, which is took the most amount of time, is I took the wiring loom off and I've actually started to route it how it should be routed, and it took a lot of effort to do because somebody had literally just slapped the loom on and put it wherever. But I've put all the plugs where they should be. This main harness loom that's just here, somebody had literally just put it across the cross member down here and round here, and I thought that doesn't look right. And looking through service data, there are some very handy little diagrams that show you where to route pipes and wiring. Japanese service manuals have them as well. Oh yeah, I have drained all the oil, changed the filter, but I noticed this wire here, it was like touching the exhaust one of you, so that's been routed properly behind there. The stator wiring's been wired properly, but this main loom here actually goes across the frame spar, and then it goes down by the carburetors, under the carburetors, and then along here. So basically what I've got to do now is sort out getting it in here, because it comes in through here actually, this gap there, comes in and then plugs into the CDI and stuff, and then there's a little loom. This is for the rear brake pedal, which basically follows the pipe down, and then there's a little loom that plugs in to do all the back lights and what have you, which I've been tidying up because I've had to put connectors on for the engine indicators, which I've fitted there and put my own ends on. And then one thing I did notice, the back lights weren't coming on last time I tried it. So hopefully I'm going to get to the bottom of that, because obviously need lights for the MOT. I did enjoy my little ride out on Nibbler. Fucking hell, he's fast. I went actually to see the chap that's got the ZStar 600, but the bike shop was shut early, and he normally goes up his unit, and he wasn't there, so I just ended up just going out for a little ride, give him a run, top his battery up. If the weather's nice, I might take him out tomorrow, who knows. But the idea being, when I've sorted the wiring out on this and I'm happy with it, and it's sort of weatherproof, Nibbler will be back in here. I only had this in here while the weather was bad, but it's coming together nicely. I'm quite happy with it. So I suppose I'd better find some crush washers. I have got, it could be in the brick shed actually, but I have got a little box like this full of new crush washers. There's some there as well. Actually, one of those might do it. What sizes have we got? 8x14. One thing I have got as well, I've got aluminium crush washers just there, and they'll do it, because I did investigate, and fucking oil, and it's definitely coming out of the sump plug. So yes, we'll get a Sealy washer on that. What else? Oh yeah, I've put the fuel piping correctly on the carby-tinkles. Carby-tinkles are all mounted up, and what have you. I don't know what else to tell you. Huge, massive. Don't worry about that oil. That's come out of the Aprilia. Massive progress on Charlie, or at least as soon as this is like buttoned back together again, because now it runs. I'm happy. This should be buttoned back together today, and then today or tomorrow, and then start back on the main project, Charlie, and yeah, got to do the fork seals is the main thing on this. Fork seals, finish the caliper rebuild, put the new fairing stay on, and then he's pretty much good. Pretty much happy with it. Got to put the new clutch cable on as well, but yes. So wouting, sorry, new teeth. Oh, I'll show you my new teeth. You'll have to excuse the cold sores. So pre-warned, but new teeth. Are you ready? Yes, that's right. I am once again a devilishly handsome bastard. Watch out, the ladies. Oh yes. Not that I should be chasing the ladies this year. I'm going to be having more fun with cake and motorcycles, but I will have the odd pillion with big breasts. So yes, I'm still not 100%. So anyway, I thought I'd just let you know what I'm getting up to. But massive improvement on the I nearly called it the Aprilia then, the Aprilia. It shouldn't take me too long to sort that wiring out, and then I've got some like some bodgery fartery going on at the front. I may actually be able to fit the front fairing as is. Now the tank's on, the tank is bolted on, the fuel line's on, and I've got some proper nice fasteners upstairs to actually mount the fairing, because somebody just used any old screws they got their hands on, and that really annoys me. So I've got to have a look at the service manual, Spanish waiter, and I've got the headlight loom in the brick shed, and I'll just oil the connectors on that, just go through it, and I've got to find some screws to mount the indicators. I bought original Aprilia indicators, which for the 4 came in at I think about £90, and they were imported from Italy via an Aprilia dealer over here. Oh, scuffy. Do you know what? I really haven't. I was so eager to get this bike torn down and get it running. I really haven't had a good look at the bodywork or anything like that. Flatulence. But it doesn't bother me that much. This is common on these, scuffage of the plastic tank where the fairing just buffs against it. You can see inside here where it does it. So I might just put some little foam tape or something like that. Some like furniture foam pads, stop it doing. Look, we've got a friend. Ooh. Green spider. There's an old piano and it's playing hot behind the green spider. Shut up, Jim. So that's what I'll be getting on with today. That's it for your video. Well, I'm not up to it. So enjoy your weekend. See you later. Bye bye. Wrong button. Right, it's coming together. Front end is on. Still got to do the wiring for the flashicators. That's it. But you ignore that bit. Yes, I've had to drop the subframe to get this bit of the wiring through, because it actually goes through here, up there, and farts about over here somewhere. One bad design about the Pegaso. I don't know whether any other Italiano bikos suffer from it, but the reg can suffer from overheating. As you can see, the regulator rectifier is actually small, bloody great heatsink on it, and it goes there out of the airflow. But there was sort of a reason for it. Their reason being, the air being drawn into the snorkel will pass air over the rectifier. It wasn't all that successful, let's put it that way. Other people have managed to mount them on the frames and stuff like that. All it needs is a good heatsink, and as you can see, it's sitting on plastic, which isn't good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make just a little metal tray for it to sit on, so the heat can go into the tray, and it being sort of make it the same surface area, put some thermal paste on it, and it should be alright. Or it'll help, because at least it'll be heat sinking into metal and not plastic, because this bit here has already melted. Yes, but I did notice that the stator was new, so maybe it had issues. I have no idea. Nice, tasty. So anyway, I'm going to get on with putting it all back together. Dashboard. Don't know if anything works yet, because I haven't got the La Batteria in. Yes. Well, folks, I've spent most of the day on the Aprilia actually, and apart from like fitting the back light, which is pretty much done, I just had to check the service manual to see which wire goes where, because on the back lights they're all individual connections, not a multi-plug like you get on a Japanese bike. In fact, it's quite a strange loom actually. The multi-plug connectors on it are really cheap and nasty. They're horrible, and this bike comes from the era when Italian bikes, generally the electrics were getting a lot better. I mean, I think Ducati ended up using, even in the 90s, the same company Suzuki used, I do believe. But other than that, it's just working out what goes where, and you know which wire is the signal wire for the brake and stuff like that. Once you know, it's easy enough, and I'm not going to know whether it's all right until I've put the battery on, which I can do tomorrow. So yeah, so that's about it. So it's sitting there now with all its panels on, apart from the little one at the front and what have you, looking like a complete motorbike, and it starts and runs, and hopefully will continue to do so. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little fuel filter on it, because there isn't one. There was a tiny little one. Remember that little gauze one? That's not going to filter anything, so I'm going to put a little inline one in, and it will just it will let me just extend the fuel line just a little bit. But most of the time, that's my belly, because I've not had anything to eat today. most of the time has been spent trying to sort that loom out and get it routed properly, and it meant like removing the subframe, removing all the under trays and all that lot, and just getting it to roughly where it should be. Quite handily, the red wire for the indicators is for the right, so it's red for right, so that'll be easy to suss out. So I should probably put the front indicators on tomorrow, stuff like that. Then it needs a pair of mirrors, a tyre. It definitely needs one tyre, definitely needs the back one. I've not looked at the date stamp on the front one yet because I can't find it, because I haven't looked. But probably a pair of tyres before it goes for an MOT. Nibbler's due an MOT early February, but I probably won't bother if he's going to be swapped, and I shall end the tax on him as well. But I tried to go and see the guy today and he wasn't there, so we shall see. So that's basically what I've been doing. Now, I used some built hammer. Where is it? It's behind you, Jim. Oh, still very sore. Some Detox C, and you dissolve it basically in hot water. And I left it overnight, and I didn't think it was doing much, to be honest. But when I ended up taking the bolts out and what have you, it had actually got rid of the rust. So it does work. It dyed these bolts black as well. So whether they were originally zinc plated, I don't know. So yes, that's where we are with it at the moment. So I'm going to end this video here, and yes, that'll be it. But the Aprilia's coming together. I might even end up getting the battery on it tomorrow, and I want to make sure I put a sealing washer on the sump plug, and I want to make sure that's sealed, and then I can end up putting the new oil in it. And I believe it only takes something like 2.2 litres. It's something ridiculously small, you know, but it is only a single cylinder. So I should probably do that tomorrow. Anyway, goodbye.